Today we're going to be talking about the 10 social emotional needs of infants and toddlers. Whenever I work with a child care provider or a preschool teacher or a parent, I'm always thinking about social emotional development through the framework of these 10 social emotional needs. The social emotional needs come from a curriculum called Promoting First Relationships. Promoting First Relationships is an evidence-based curriculum for use with children ages 0 to 3 and their parents. And so that's where these cards came from, and that's where this framework comes from as well. So let's get started. So the first social emotional need of infants and toddlers, and I would argue this one is the most important social emotional need, is the need to feel safe and secure. When a child feels safe and secure, their brain is able to focus on things other than survival, which means that they're able to explore their environment, learn, create healthy relationships with peers and with caregivers. All important parts of social emotional development. Some ways that you can meet this need for your child are being physically present, watching your child as they play, talk to them about what they're doing, and help them understand negative feelings when they come up. It also helps kids to feel safe and secure when they know what's going to happen, so you structure their day and their world to be safe for them, and you set boundaries that are appropriate for their age and developmental stage. So all of those things can help meet a child's need to feel safe and secure, which, like I said, I think is the most important need, because if this isn't the foundation, none of the other social emotional needs really matter so much. All right, let's talk about the next one. The next one is the need to feel worthy and loved. So the need to feel worthy and loved is a basic human need. And when a child feels connected to their primary caregiver or another safe adult, they learn to experience themselves as being successful in relationships. They learn that they can be effective and that they can be cared for as a result. So some ways to meet this need are to say your child's name often. This is a really easy way to meet this need, and I often point it out to preschool teachers and child care providers who already do this all the time, that when you do that, when you use a child name often, it really does meet this need to feel worthy and loved. Just notice them when they're playing, when they're quiet. Accept what's going on with them and spend time playing with them. Spend that quality time together building a relationship, and you'll be meeting your child's need to feel worthy and loved. All right, the next one is the need to feel acknowledged and understood. So when a child feels like you understand them, they learn how to process through negative emotions. When kids feel like you don't understand them, that's when things tend to get bigger and bigger and bigger and explosive, and you see kids who either externalize those feelings in the form of aggressive behavior, or you see kids who tend to internalize those large feelings and put them inside and turn inward on themselves, and that's not a healthy response either. So to meet your child's need to feel acknowledged and understood, the best thing you can do is validate and label their feelings. Kids learn about feelings and emotions when we tell them what they are. So when you see your child sad or crying, put words to that and say, I see that you're sad. When your child is frustrated, you can say, I see that you're frustrated. I think you're angry right now. And putting those feeling words to what you see in your child's behavior helps them understand that, oh yeah, when I feel that in my body, that's angry. It gives them the language that they can then learn to process that feeling, and they can learn what to do with angry feelings. So that's probably the best way to meet your child's need to feel acknowledged and understood. The next one is very similar, a little bit different, and you'll notice actually in a lot of these that there is a lot of overlap between these 10 social emotional needs, and one thing that you do meets many of these needs. So there's lots of similarity, lots of overlap. So the next one is to feel noticed and receive attention. So kids are always seeking attention from their parents and caregivers. How many times have you heard someone say, oh, he was just doing it for attention. Oh, she just wanted some attention. All the time, right? That happens all the time. So I actually like to reframe that. And instead of saying, oh, he just needed attention, which can kind of sometimes have a negative connotation, I like to reframe that to this is a child who's seeking connection with their caregiver. And if we respond to this need for connection and to feel noticed and receive attention proactively, then negative behaviors don't have to be a child's strategy for getting that attention from their caregivers. So what are some ways that you can meet this need for your child? One way is to give lots of positive reinforcement and lots of attention for positive behaviors. Another way is to notice your child's accomplishments and mostly, honestly, the efforts that they're making. So it doesn't matter if that painting that they did at preschool is a masterpiece, but what matters is that they worked hard on it and they did their best. And so noticing effort is a great way to help meet your child's need to feel noticed and receive attention. So simple, smile at your child. Make sure that she sees that you see what she's doing, even when you're not directly interacting. Another way to meet this need is to let your child have opportunities to be your helper. Kids love, love, love to be helpers. So if you can give them jobs that are appropriate for them and lots of positive reinforcement while they're doing them for both what they're doing, the effort they're putting in, and also the time they're spending with you, that's a great way to meet this need. All right, so next we have the need to feel a sense of predictability. This is huge and again ties into the need to feel safe and secure. When a child knows what's coming, they're not worried about coming. They don't have anxious behaviors, they don't have worries about it, and they can feel safe to relax in their environment. So ways that you can meet this need for your child are by structuring their day so that they know what to expect. Have a consistent, predictable routine. That doesn't mean you have to eat breakfast at 8:45 on the dot every single day. What that does mean, though, is that one thing should follow the other thing on a fairly consistent basis. So first we do breakfast, then we go to story time, for example. So not necessarily like strict times, but a more predictable, consistent routine. And that can really help meet your child's need for a sense of predictability. When changes happen, talk about them. Be as transparent as you can. Tell your child what to expect. Tell them what's coming. And that can really help meet this need for a sense of predictability as well. All right, the next social emotional need is to understand and be able to manage my upset feelings. So emotional regulation skills are skills and they need to be learned. And the part of our brain that really manages this is our prefrontal cortex, and it's the last and slowest part of our brain to develop. So in infancy and early childhood, this is a part of the brain that is not yet fully mature. So we need to keep in mind developmental appropriateness here, but we also need to help kids learn what to do with those feelings when they have them. It's completely normal to be mad. Every single one of us gets mad at some point in time. And we need to learn how to manage those angry feelings appropriately. So we can help our kids to do this. So again, label their feelings. When you see them feeling sad or frustrated or angry or even happy, whatever the feeling is, label that. Help your child learn the words so they can start to learn how to respond. When they have those big, angry, frustrated, sad feelings, don't shy away from that. Help them know that you're there, you're in charge, you're going to help them get through it. You're going to help them learn how to manage those feelings. Hold them if they need that. Time in is a great option for toddlers who are struggling if they need a little help to organize their world before they can re-enter play or whatever situation it was. So another way to do this is by reflecting feelings. So again, just mimic your child's feelings. So if your child is sad, you're not going to be like, "Woo, yay, this is so great." You're going to kind of use your body language to reflect what you see your child experiencing. And that's something we do pretty naturally. So probably not something you need to think about too much, but it is nice to know that those things that you're doing naturally already are really helping to meet your child's social emotional needs. All right, so the next social emotional need we have is to feel a sense of control. This is really, really important. And when children don't have a sense of control in their life, they will take it in whatever form that they can. Often this comes out in pottying issues or issues related to food, because those are two things that we really as adults can't control no matter how hard we try. So what you can do here is give your child lots of choices. Okay, so when I say that, make sure that the choices are both appropriate. You don't want to be giving your child a choice of something that you're not okay with them choosing. Limit it. Infants and toddlers don't need a lot more than 2 choices, really. So it's not like, hey, what do you want for a snack? Choose from anything here. It's like, would you like graham crackers or an apple? So give manageable choices to help your child feel that sense of control. When your child gets to that independent age and they're ready to start doing things for themselves, let them do that. Ask them if they'd like help before helping. Don't just try to jump in when you can. I know sometimes that's hard to fit into real life, but when you have the time to do that, that's an important way you can help meet their need to feel a sense of control. All right, the next one is to feel safe and stimulated in my exploration. So this has to do with your child's play. And when a child feels safe, like I said earlier, they can explore their environment, and that's when all this great, rich language and other learning happens. So we really want kids to feel safe and stimulated in their exploration. So one way you can meet this need is by helping your child have an environment that is conducive to the stage that they are at. So you're going to have safe activities, you're going to have an area where your child can explore and where they're allowed to get the materials and where nothing is off limits. So give them a place that they can explore safely. Watching your child's play is another way to meet this need. When they know that even when you're not participating with them, you're there and you see what is happening, that is a great way to make sure your child feels safe during their exploration time. All right, the next one is the need to feel competent. It's really important as infants and toddlers are growing that they're developing a strong sense of self-confidence, self-worth, and self-efficacy. And in order for them to do that, they need to feel successful. They need to feel competent. So this is a really important social emotional need. And some ways that you can help meet this need for your child are, like I said a few minutes ago, when they want to be independent, allow them to be independent. That is okay with us. Give them help when they ask for it or when they need it, and give them just enough help that they can be successful. So that's an important way to meet your child's need to feel competent. Also, recognizing their efforts is really important, so not just the outcome. So even if they can't quite get that sock on by themselves, you can still say, wow, I can see that you're working really hard. Praise the effort without necessarily praising the outcome. All right, and our 10th and final social emotional need for today is to have mutually enjoyable relationships and feel a sense of belonging. So when a child feels like people love them and enjoy them and want to spend time with them, again, that helps increase their self-confidence, self-esteem, and it builds strong pathways in their brain for all the future relationships they're ever going to have. So this is a really important need as well. Some ways that you can meet this need for your child are just by spending time with them. Lots of great quality time, one-on-one time, talking to your child at their eye level, sitting down to the dinner table with your child, reading with your child. There's so many ways that you can meet this need, and really it all comes back to the time that you and your child are able to spend together. So that is the Promoting First Relationships, 10 social emotional needs of infants and toddlers. And I hope that that has shed some insight onto what infants and toddlers need to have healthy social emotional development during the first few years of their lives. I appreciate you being here with me, and if you've enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would share it with a friend. If you're interested in finding out more about what's going on with me and with Reflecting Relationships, please come on over to my website at www.reflectingrelationships.com and sign up to receive my email newsletter. When you do, you'll also receive my free 5-part mini course on creating a strong connection with your child. Hope to see you soon.